55 watts of light. That is what a 2-liter plastic bottle full of water can throw into a pitch black room in the middle of the day. No bulb, no wire, no switch, no power bill. And the thing has been sitting in landfills this whole time while people paid electricians to do its job. Today, I'm going to show you how to turn a discarded soda bottle into a permanent daytime light fixture that brightens a windowless garage, shed, basement, or pantry for basically nothing, and lasts about 5 years before it needs a top-up. Here's the price collision that should stop you cold. A professionally installed skylight runs anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500, and wiring a light out to a detached shed can cost you $500 to $1,500 more once the electrician adds up the trenching and the permit. This bottle does the same job, floods a dark room with real usable light for about $2 in materials, $2 versus $2,000. The best part is a follow-up trick I will get to near the end that keeps one of these glowing softly even after the sun goes down, and it adds about $1 to the whole build. I put one of these in my garage 2 summers ago, and I have not touched that light switch during daylight since. It sounds like a gimmick until you see a room that was black at noon suddenly lit up like someone flipped a breaker. So let me explain why a bottle of water does something a hole in the roof cannot. Start with what everybody assumes is the obvious version. Just cut a hole in the roof and let the sun in. Try it, and you will be disappointed. A bare hole casts one hard, narrow beam, a single hot spotlight on the floor while the corners of the room stay dark. It is basically a sundial, not a light, and it leaks the first time it rains. The water is what changes everything. When sunlight hits that bottle sticking up above the roof line, the water bends the light through refraction and then scatters it in every direction at once. Instead of one beam pointing straight down, you get a glowing orb that pushes light out sideways, into the corners, across the ceiling. A full 360 degrees. That is the entire secret. The water turns a shaft of sun into a diffused globe. It behaves like a frosted bulb, except the power source is 93 million miles away, and it does not bill you monthly. The man who figured this out was a Brazilian mechanic named Alfredo Moser, back in 2002, during a stretch of blackouts. He did not patent it, he gave it away. It spread across the Philippines and then the world through a project called a Liter of Light, and by some counts it is now lighting well over 1 million homes. A mechanic with a bottle out-engineered the entire lighting industry, and he did it with garbage. Here is the build, and it is genuinely a 15-minute job. Take a clear plastic bottle, a 2-liter soda bottle is the classic, and fill it almost to the top with clean water. Then add about 2 capfuls of liquid bleach. The bleach is not for cleaning. It is there to stop algae from growing because still water plus sunlight is a science experiment you do not want, and the bleach keeps the water crystal clear for years instead of turning it into a green swamp. Cap it tight. Now you cut a hole in the roofing sheet the exact diameter of the bottle, slide the bottle through so roughly the top third pokes up into the sunlight and the bottom 2/3 hangs down into the room, and seal around it. The whole trick to a leak-proof install is the sealant, and I will come back to that because it is where most people fail. If you are still here, you are the kind of person who would rather build the thing than pay someone $1,200 to do it. My kind of person. Subscribing is free, and it genuinely keeps these videos coming. And if you want the deeper builds, members get the extended step-by-steps and the bonus videos I keep off the public feed. That is the whole ask. Now, the sealant, because a leaky roof cancels out every dollar you just saved. You want a polyurethane roof sealant or a good marine-grade adhesive around the collar where the bottle meets the metal. Not the cheap acrylic caulk from the bargain bin, which cracks under UV and heat within one summer and then drips on your workbench. Some people mount the bottle through a short section of roofing sheet first, seal it on a workbench where they can do it properly, and then fit that whole panel into the roof. That is the professional move, and it is the difference between a fixture that lasts 5 years and one that leaks by August. Let me knock down the myths, because this topic is buried under them. Myth 1, it only works in the tropics. No, it works anywhere the sun rises, which, last I checked, is everywhere. Overcast days give you less punch, sure, but a cloudy sky still throws far more light through that bottle than a dark room has on its own. Myth 2, the water will get moldy and gross. Not if you add the bleach, and that is the entire reason it is in there, and a properly dosed bottle stays clear for around 5 years before it needs a refresh. Myth 3, a real skylight is obviously better. A skylight is a single expensive pane that dumps light straight down, and in a poorly installed one, cooks the room with heat gain and leaks at the flashing. The bottle scatters light sideways, where you actually need it, and costs 1/1000th as much. Myth 4, and this is the one I hear most, this is just a poor country workaround with no use in a normal house. Tell that to your windowless garage, your basement corner, your pantry, your chicken coop, your workshop, or the back of the shed where you have been squinting at your tools for years. Any daytime space with a roof and no window is a candidate. Now the money, honestly, because I am not going to inflate it. If you would otherwise run a couple of LED shop lights in a garage for 6 hours a day, you are looking at maybe $15 to $25 a year in electricity. Small, but it is forever, and this bottle erases it. The real number is the install you avoid. You are not paying an electrician to trench power to a shed. You're not paying a contractor to cut and flash a skylight. You're dodging a $1,000 to $2,000 job with a $2 bottle. Do that across a garage, a shed, and a basement, and you have personally saved yourself the price of a used car with light that runs on sunshine and asks for nothing back. There is a hidden bonus to the physics, too. That bottle is also a tiny bit of insulation, and oddly, it does not create the massive heat leak a poorly sealed skylight does, because the water actually absorbs and moderates some of the incoming solar heat, rather than blasting it straight through like clear glass. You get the light without turning the room into an oven. Nobody expects the free light to also be the cooler option, but the water earns its keep twice. And here is that after dark trick I promised. The newer versions of this build tuck a tiny solar panel and a small rechargeable battery with a single LED right into the bottle cap. During the day, the bottle works exactly as I described, refracting sunlight for free. But the little panel also trickle charges the battery, and when the sun goes down, that LED switches on, and the same water bottle that was a skylight all afternoon becomes a soft nightlight, glowing from the inside, still scattering light through the water in every direction. One bottle, day and night, and the whole upgrade costs about $1 in parts. A piece of trash that lights a room around the clock. I find that a little absurd in the best way. So save a bottle from the recycling tonight. Fill it, dose it, and find the darkest room in your house. 15 minutes and $2 might be all that stands between you and a light fixture the sun pays for. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.